There's a deleted scene from The Lion King that Disney wanted to hide from you. In it, a young Scar collapses while trying to keep up with Mufasa during a hunt. The animators cut it because it made audiences feel sorry for the villain. But what if that scene held a key importance? What if every evil thing Scar ever did was because he was dying? I found something in the original concept art that Disney buried. It includes medical details that feel too real and a family secret so dark that it could completely change how you see the story. Once you see this evidence, you'll realize we've been watching the wrong story all along. Let's start with something that should have been our first clue. Everyone in The Lion King has a normal name. Simba means lion, Nala means gift, Mufasa means king. All of them had beautiful, powerful names that their parents gave with love. But then there's Scar. That's not even his real name. His birth name was Taka. And Taka doesn't mean something cool. It means waste. Think about that for a second. What kind of parent names their baby Waste? There's only one answer that makes sense. Baby Taka was sick from the moment he was born. Maybe he was smaller than Mufasa, or he looked weak. So his father thought, this cub won't survive. So he named him Taka because he expected him to die. But Taka didn't die. He lived. And every single day, everyone called him by a name that meant he was worthless. Imagine growing up being called Waste by your own family. It hurts. And it gets worse. Taka eventually became Scar. But how did he get that scar? Someone had to hurt him. And the only lion strong enough was Mufasa. Yes, what if Mufasa gave Scar that scar? What if the good brother we all loved actually hurt Scar when he was just a sick little cub? Horrible. Now let's talk about what we can actually see. Look at Scar in any scene from The Lion King. He's thin, really thin. You can literally spot his ribs and his face looks hollow. His mane is also patchy instead of full and golden like Mufasa's. And this never changes. Even after Scar becomes king and has all the food he wants, he still looks like he's starving. If you look at other lions in his pride, they're normal and healthy. But Scar still looks sick. In real life, when lions get plenty of food, they gain weight and get strong. But Scar's body never improves, no matter how much he eats. That's not normal. Maybe he was fighting some kind of disease that won't let him get better. And this makes me really suspicious. Male lions are supposed to be huge and powerful. They're supposed to fight other males and win territories. But Scar never fights anyone directly. He always uses tricks and other animals to do his dirty work. Why would the brother of a king be so weak that he can't win a single fight? Because he's sick and his body's failing him. It gets a bit sad from here. At the beginning of The Lion King, we see Simba's presentation ceremony. Every animal in the Pride Lands comes to celebrate the new prince, except one, Scar. Now, we always thought Scar skipped the ceremony because he was jealous, but what if that's not the whole story? What if Scar wasn't invited? Look at how Scar lives. He's always alone. He doesn't hang out with the other lions. He doesn't have a mate. He lives by himself in the dark parts of Pride Rock, away from everyone else. In real lion prides, lions only get pushed out for very specific reasons, usually disease. Healthy male lions don't live alone, and it breaks my heart that Scar has no cubs. In a pride full of lionesses, not one of them had babies with Scar. Even when he was king and could have any lioness he wanted, he still had no children. Male lions who can't have cubs usually get kicked out of prides. It's nature's cruel rule. If you can't pass on your genes, you can't stay with the family. Okay, now, have you ever wondered why Scar teamed up with the hyenas? We always thought it was because he was evil and wanted to destroy the Pride Lands. But what if it was actually about survival? Think about it. Scar is too weak to hunt for himself. He can't fight other lions or stay with his own pride because they've pushed him out. How is a sick, weak lion supposed to get food? The hyenas were his only option. They were the only ones who would work with him. Why? Because he was desperate enough to promise them anything. Isn't it interesting? Scar promises the hyenas food and territory, but he never promises to hurt anyone. He never says he wants to destroy the Pride Lands. He just wants to be in charge. Maybe because being king was the only way he wouldn't die of hunger. The hyenas probably understood him. They knew he was weak, but they also knew he was smart enough to help them get what they wanted. It was a partnership between outcasts using each other to survive. Wait, what do you think? Was Scar really just sick, or was he still the evil villain? Drop your take in the comments before we reveal the next secret. Now, everything comes together in the worst possible way. The wildebeest stampede that killed Mufasa was always pure evil for us. But what if it was actually about time running out? Remember, Scar is sick. He's getting weaker. Simba is getting bigger and stronger every day. If Scar waits too long, he'll be too weak to challenge anyone. So, the window for him to become king is closing fast. But after the stampede, he tells Simba to run away and never come back. Why doesn't he just kill the cub right there? Maybe because Scar's teeth were too weak. His illness had progressed so far that he couldn't even bite hard enough to kill a small cub. So he sends Simba away and tells the hyenas to finish the job. And after Scar becomes king, something strange happens to the Pride Lands. Drought hits, water dries up, and the animals leave. Everyone blames this on Scar being a bad king. But what if it's simpler than that? What if the Pride Lands got sick because their king was sick? In many cultures, people believe that the health of the land reflects the health of the ruler. A sick king means a sick kingdom. And to think about this, Scar rules for years, but he never gets better. He has unlimited food and all the power he ever wanted, but his body keeps failing. So this was basically a story of a dying king who's watching everything fall apart because he's too sick to fix it. Finally, when Simba comes back to challenge Scar, we expect an epic battle between two powerful lions. Instead, we get something pathetic because Scar barely fights back. He runs, begs, and tries to blame everything on the hyenas. We always thought this proved Scar was a coward. But what if it proved he was dying? Simba is young, healthy, and strong. Scar is old, sick, and weak. There's no contest. Scar knows he can't win a fair fight, so he doesn't even try. He does what he's always done. He uses tricks and words because his body failed him. And in the end, it's not even Simba who kills Scar. It's the hyenas. Maybe they finally realized that Scar had been using them, or maybe they were just hungry, and a weak, dying lion looked like an easy meal. Either way, Scar dies alone, betrayed by his only friends after spending his whole life being rejected by his family. The next time someone tells you Scar was pure evil, show them this video. Because the real villain of The Lion King isn't the sick lion who wanted to live. It's the perfect family that taught him he was better off dead. Think I'm wrong? Prove it in the comments. And hit subscribe, because Disney's got more dark secrets we need to uncover.